We're going to talk to you tonight about the real difference, like what it really feels like difference with a Disney Cruise Line sailing Concierge and Standard.
And it will be a talking to.
A talking to? Please feel pity for us. No,
like
really.
And subscribe. It would be the most pitiful thing you can do for us.
But really, thank you so much for being here. We really just want to share like what that difference looks like, because we've done some Disney cruising and we've done Standard, we've done Concierge. And while we have a video up that talks about what we think is worth it and where we think that worth lies and how you can kind of factor in what that could look like for you, we really want to talk about the difference between a Standard sailing and Concierge, because man, it is a sticker shock to look at that Concierge price. It's like, oh my God, my bank account is already screaming and I haven't even finished hitting complete sail.
Because what, if a Standard sailing is 7K, then it's going to be 10K for
minimum. We've noticed that on average, you're talking about spending anywhere from 30 to 50% more.
Yeah.
What does it feel like?
The feel is huge. It really is.
Yeah.
We've talked in a previous video about the relaxation you get from a DCL trip versus
coming into these beautiful parks.
Coming behind us, right? Like there's a difference. And going from there to a DCL ship to a DCL ship with Concierge, woo, you're taking relaxation to the next level. This is a bar you are setting.
Well, and do you agree that it's kind of like one of those, okay, like you take a flight and you fly coach, and then like one time you get upgraded, or you can upgrade for super cheap to first class, and then it's like after that, you never want to go back.
It's so hard.
For perspective purposes, Duke is not the theme park person. That's me. I'm the theme park nerd that lives for these spaces and just adores Disney Cruise Line. I will just always say, please try to pick that. I've literally advised people who are like, man, I need a vacation. And they have that like, I'm tired, I need a break. We're thinking about going to Disney World. I'm like, you're not getting a break if you're going to Disney World.
Another vacation.
Exactly. Now we've already covered this. This is in a previous video, so check the card above. So when it comes to just what that level of relaxation difference looks like, let's break that down.
Well before the ship, you actually get an email from Concierge, and I think a call as well. And they're like, what can we do for you?
What can we help you book? What can we help?
What can you do for me? Like,
Right,
really?
for sure.
You can help me plan all this stuff and chase all this stuff down, and yep, happy to do so. What do you need?
Whereas if you're doing Standard, you have to track, you know, if you want any specialty dining, what port excursions you're doing. If you want one of the cabanas on your Disney Island day, you have to be on that. And a lot of times you can be on it as much as you can, but unless you have that early access because you're someone who's been sailing numerous times, then you have to get put on a wait list. And let me tell you, Concierge gets preferential treatment to all of the wait lists.
Yep. And Concierge opens up a little bit ahead of the Standard sailor.
Yes.
Even if they're a little bit behind, like the really preferential ones.
Yeah, for sure.
The pearls and such. So like you're going to get that middle land. You're already going to get that chance of getting the things you want before they sell out.
Your hand was so close. I was like, ha ha ha. But it opens up so fast, which enables you to be able to book things faster. Now, the thing is that when you're going Standard and you have to like coordinate all these different things that you're doing and where you're sailing and what's happening, you really don't have to do that.
No.
The Concierge team is going to do that for you. Say you really wanted to book Palo Brunch. You've heard so much about the food. You've watched vlogs. You know what that food looked like.
It is worth
every
penny.
It's so good. Here's the thing. You really want to do that, and maybe you had to work. Maybe your internet was down. For whatever reason, you couldn't get on to book that when your window opened and you're sailing Concierge. That's okay. The team will book it for you.
Yep. Before it even got to that point, the team asked, did you want to do anything? Oh, Palo Brunch? Do you have a day you want it?
In fact,
and they'll get you one of the two.
Right. In a Standard sailing, if you couldn't get what you wanted, they always do hold a certain percentage of the reservations for people once they get on board. So you can always go downstairs and you can talk to them about availability, and you may or may not be able to get something that coordinates with your schedule.
Sixth boarding group.
Yeah, the further along you get in the boarding group, the less likely you already get that. Yep. Right. But like we're standing in line as they're walking us into our lunch for Concierge, and they're checking all the different families in. And I told her what we wanted to do, and she was like, no, Miss Stephanie, I will do that for you.
Yep.
No, I will do it. I will take care of it.
Have a meal, have lunch, enjoy, relax.
Like, it's a thing.
They start out telling you, relax, enjoy. Whoever your concierge individual is, male or female, they actually have a good chance of getting it too, because preferential treatment, and you got on the ship before anybody else except the first family.
So, granted, you have that. That's before the sailing. Let's talk about Embarkation Day. Do you want to break down Concierge or Standard? Which viewpoint for what it feels like?
Start with Standard, because that's what we experienced first. On that day, you know, you're hustling. You're trying to make sure you get to the port on time. You're going to be standing in a long line at security, and then you're going to be in a huge location that everybody sits in. So there's not going to be enough seats for everybody, but there's a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah.
There's a a model ship to take a look at, AR style,
Yeah.
right? Augmented reality. If you don't know what that stands for, you get to use your phone and look for things and take pictures of stuff, and it's a little game, so it's fun. You can take pictures. They've got like sailing away pictures that you can take that are similar to like special pictures you would get at a park.
Make sure you bring snacks because it could take a while.
You wait for your boarding group to get called. You shuffle your way on the ship. You get to enter the ship with everybody else, one family at a time. They're going to call your name. You see,
Which is awesome.
It's awesome. You see, Mickey up there or Minnie up there, whatever friend is standing up there to welcome you in. Everybody's clapping and cheering. It's an experience.
It's so magical.
But then you're going to have to hustle again. Now you're on the ship. You're gonna run around a little bit. You're trying to see what's out there. You're trying to get food for everybody because they're probably hungry. You're trying to find your stateroom, get that squared away, make sure you're done there. You're trying to make sure you have your luggage. You're going to run over and know where Kids Club is if you need to worry about that. You're going to know where Vibe is if you have older kids, if you need to worry about that.
And there's a whole check-in process that goes with that.
Yep, you're going to check them in, make sure everything's got to be done. Everything's got to be squared away. You got to do the muster drill. You got to do, you're still going to eat. You're still going to have the sailing away party. You've got a lot going on, and you're going to be crazy busy. Even as relaxing as it can be, you're going to be crazy busy.
Yeah.
But Concierge,
it's a whole other animal. So while you don't have to worry as much about a lot of the planning and the preparations, when you board as a standard guest, you have a boarding group, and that boarding group, like if you get online as soon as your booking window opens and you're taking care of things, you can pick a port arrival time that's super early, which is great because it means you get on the ship sooner. And a lot of people feel like they're feeling the value of that, price tag for the cruise. The sooner they get on the ship, they feel like they're getting more value, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
So a lot of people want to get on the ship as soon as possible, which means that you're going to want to get that earlier boarding group. But if you're in boarding group like 11 or 13, it could be 1, 2 o'clock before you're getting on the ship, which means you need food. Now, if you're concierge, they bring you aboard and you're in a separate waiting area with these huge floor-to-ceiling windows, and you have this expansive view when it comes to the ship. You also have expedited security to even
you
get
priority
in.
security to start.
You do. So it's like you have your own security checkpoint, so it's a shorter line. Like all of it is expedited and so much easier.
Yeah.
So you go to this separate waiting area, and depending on how late it is, if they've already started boarding, then they may or may not take you into a secondary waiting lounge, because there's this main space with all the beautiful windows, which personally I prefer, but if you're there early enough, then they take you into this other waiting room that has some cushion benches in it. It has sodas and juices and waters and stuff, power locations so that you can like recharge. So if you brought snacks for the kids, you can give them stuff, or maybe you got them like a breakfast bar or something like that and they need to eat, or maybe you need a snack or something. You can enjoy that, grab yourself a juice or soda or water and kind of relax until they bring you on board. But they start boarding at like 10:30, 10:45 at the latest, which is wild, knowing that ship arrives at 6 and people got off the boat that day. So they get you on board like immediately. When you enter that ship and you're a standard guest, there's already people flooding the atrium. When you board that ship
taking
as a
all their
concierge,
pictures, wanting to get the things that you don't blame them. You
I don't
want
blame
them
them one bit. That's me as well.
Yep.
As a concierge guest, you're boarding that ship and there's like no one else in the atrium.
You get those photos with pretty much just you. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, and you're escorted to lunch, where you meet your concierge team and they help you like with any other, like we mentioned, plans that you need. And if you had something, like we were on a waiting list for a cabana and we had that preferential treatment, we were notified via email that the cabana was acquired, but like once we got on the ship, they were checking in with us, making sure they had our names. If we wanted any kind of beverages or anything special in our room, they'll put Mickey bars in there, specific juices, carbonated water, soda, you name it, because it's all included and factored in. So they're going to bring those into your stateroom and hook you up with that. And they're taking those kinds of notes, but they were also asking us what size snorkel gear we needed for the cabana. So they're doing all that check-in as they're meeting you that first date, and then you sit down at lunch. You don't have to like fight to get up to cabanas and go through that herd of people. You just sit down.
It's a nice lunch. It's a dinner level lunch. So
it's really
knowing
nice.
that the dinners on the cruise ship are going to be really nice dinners.
Yeah.
It's that level.
It was like prime ribs and chickens. There was like a muffaletta sandwich. There was beautiful like salmon salads, like all that kind of stuff. And champagne, wine. If you're not an alcohol drinker, that's fine. They had mocktails that were included, but it's like for Embarkation Day specifically, Concierge was including alcohol,
which is
at the lounge. So there for lunch, or then you go up to the concierge lounge and they were including alcohol.
They already had the bar open at the lounge.
They did. It was insane, and the pours were ridiculous. Like here, we have a little clip that shows you how we were like, holy cow, these
crazy pours.
After seeing what's available in the lounge itself, how much food is there, the alcohol that's provided. We have experienced the club level at the resorts in Walt Disney World, and there's a much more limited selection of alcohol.
club?
Yes, at club level. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad by any means. There's something for everybody. This is
an order of magnitude better.
Oh, for sure. It's substantial. I mean, you have almost a full bar. The food here at the lounge, because it's Disney Cruise Line, is substantially elevated. It is very beautiful, very tasty, just so good. We were saying we can definitely see the value. Like there's no joke. There's value in saying concierge, and if you can swing it, if you can invest in that. Being so early on board the ship, being able to get lunch
and extra like really nice lunch, and they were like, "Do you want wine? Do you want
wine or champagne?" Like it was included at lunch. Like that's your alcohol being included. That is an expenditure that you have to shell out otherwise, and it adds up. So knowing that that's included is crazy, and gosh, I mean, the food that's available in the lounge, but I mean even just the ease of it all.
Yeah.
When we came on the first time, we got on board and immediately went downstairs to the next level, like below, deck 2.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, if we want to book Paolo or Remy or anything, you have to do that right. You have to get in line, you have to do the thing, because a lot of times that stuff books out super fast when you're doing online check-in and booking your extras. And we didn't have to do that.
Nope.
Instead, we went to lunch, and the concierge team said, "What would you like to do?" And I said,
"Anything we can help you with."
Right. And I said, "Well, I wanted to go downstairs. I wanted to get it changed, and I was thinking I would just do it myself." And she was like, "No, ma'am. We will take care of that for you," which I know they'll do that. It was still like, I'll go do it myself. She's like, no, that's for us to do. And the request is to change it from Palo dinner to Palo brunch. And it was fixed. It was done for us while we sat and had lunch. Yep. Our stateroom was ready at 12:30.
Yep.
Our luggage was all here. Yep. So we had access to our room, I mean, before most people had even boarded the ship. Yep. So you just get so much more time on board. You get to enjoy things. I mean, the concierge lounge was open by that time, so we could already enjoy beverages, alcoholic included, because it was Embarkation Day, snacks, and just have that space. It was just, it's amazing. It's so nice. Yeah. You know, we talked about relaxing in the previous video. If you didn't see it, check it out. I'm not kidding. I can't stress it enough. This is the thing I appreciated most. The thing I appreciated the most was this concierge lounge, because I could go downstairs if it was outside of meal hours and I needed more than like the snack bites that they were offering. I could go downstairs and get like chicken tenders and pizza or whatever for the kids, burgers. I could bring it back to this lounge. They will take care of all the even though I wanted to clean up the plates and stuff, because I'm like, well, I hiked my tail down there. I don't want you to have to go hike it back. They take care of all of it. But it's like quieter. There's a guaranteed place to sit. It's so much more relaxing.
Juice, water,
carbonated water,
coffees,
tea, coffee.
fancy coffees. You could get like a fancy
coffee.
They had
a cappuccino machine because they had like continental breakfast. Once breakfast was over, they had like a snack situation, and then after that, they still had some snack stuff, but then they also had desserts. And when I say that this food is like the stuff you could get at Palo, we're talking like seared tuna and chia pudding
really
and
good stuff.
Like overnight oats and pastries, lots of pastries, muffins, and they had these. Oh my gosh, we got them like every time they were there. It was like having lox and cream cheese, because it was rolled up salmon with like a chive cream cheese that was like cannelled over top of the salmon. They had prosciutto. They had all kinds of like charcuterie meats. Like the food in this space was ridiculous.
Can you tell we're foodies?
Sorry, yes, we're foodies. If you didn't know, welcome. My name is Stephanie, this is Duke, and we are foodies, and we love craft beverages as well. Your first night there, we've talked about those shows. They are incredible. Yeah. Like, I heard people saying that before we took a cruise, and I was like certain that I wasn't gonna care if we saw them or not.
Oh,
but I'm telling you,
don't miss these.
Don't miss them. They're free. It's insane how good they are. Yeah. But you know what's amazing about Concierge? You go, you have dinner, you come up to Concierge, and they take you down a private elevator that's like kind of off show, like kind of behind the scenes, that drops
behind
you.
The scenes elevator.
But it drops you into the theater.
Yeah, they let you out in the theater. You get free popcorn.
And they let you take your alcohol.
Yeah, I already had drinks. They were like,
refill your alcohol while you're sitting there waiting, and they're seating everyone else, because they see everybody. They clear out everybody from the lounge. They confirm with the lounge that all the concierge guests have been funneled into the theater, and then they're going around and they're like, do you need some more McKellen, sir? Do you need more, Pellegrino, ma'am? Do you want another tea? Whatever. Do you need more popcorn? Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Like, it was insane. Yeah. So what's the difference in that experience then compared to going to the Broadway show on board the ship as a standard guest, you need to get there like 30 minutes prior to
If
the
you
show.
don't, you're standing in the back of the line, and it is a sea of people between you and the door.
And there's
Because everybody wants to go to it.
Everyone wants to go there. It's a really great show. And then you're trying to figure out what seats you can get.
You're probably getting like
you're
all the way at the back,
and you're struggling to make, I mean, don't get me wrong, all the seats are pretty good, but you are struggling to make sure that everyone can see what they're doing and what they're getting. The point in all of this, you have to think far less. And I am the planner in the family. It's not that he's not capable. It's that that's just
She knows it better.
That's my, but truly it's just, there's a lot to coordinate and a lot to plan. So from someone who is already thinking about all the things, possibly overthinking all the things, to make sure that everyone has the best time and you make the most out of this event and this money that you're spending, to be able to go on board the ship and go, oh my God, I don't have to think about that.
They're like, show up at 5:30, we'll take care of you. So we showed up at 5:20 because they were like, we took a drink. Sure. Maybe 30 people in the concierge lounge.
I know.
40. And they're like, okay, let's get in line, everybody. Just follow us. We're gonna
It's
send you
so
down the
good.
elevator. And it's like, okay, that was easy. And then they're down there, and you walk off the elevator, and they're like, popcorn.
And you're like,
sure.
yes, thank you.
Popcorn's great with
It runs
whiskey.
out, they bring you more. Here's the other thing, okay, right? Are you gonna remember to bring Band-Aids in your bag?
Nope. And
For
if
a
you are,
cruise.
good on you.
For the park, yes. You're not gonna bring that on your Disney
Nope.
cruise.
Nope.
So what happens if your kid gets hurt? Well, you walk into the concierge lounge, say, hey, is it possible you guys have a Band-Aid? He had a whole first aid kit
Yep.
with numerous different sizes of Band-Aids, ointment, cleansing, she had gloves if need be. But I was
You
like,
don't have to think about anything.
but here's the thing, she wouldn't even just give me the Band-Aid. She was like, oh, let me take care of Miss Stephanie. Little Miss Lorelai, Princess Lorelai, come over here. I will do it for you. I'm like, oh my God, no, it's okay. Like, I'm her mom. Isn't this my job? Like, you do.
Nope, they
Like,
take
you
care of
don't
it
have to
all.
do that. She's like, no, it's my pleasure.
They'll take care of
Cleans
it
it
all.
all up for her, gives her a Band-Aid, even kisses her dang finger. I'm not even kidding, and I only just now remembered this. And then was like, do you want a sticker?
Yeah.
Like, that's just
You
what?
don't have to. It's so
you just
different.
don't have to think. You have to think far less on a cruise anyway. We already talked about that in the previous video about that's why it's so relaxing. Concierge, it's like, please leave your brain at home.
Yeah. You want an actual
amazing.
vacation? Not like an actual vacation. If you are a single person or a person without kids and a partner, good for you. Take a cruise, you will have a vacation, it'll be amazing. If you have kids and you want like a vacation, you will come home and you will go, wow, I actually feel recharged. Go concierge. You will get a lot of that going cruise compared to hitting a property. Concierge?
It's a
You get home and you're like,
that was amazing.
that was great. And then the kids start screaming and your relaxation stops. But for the first 30 seconds, it's unbelievable.
It's
Multiple times I've pointed out the differences between park and ship anyways with having to look on your phone. But a lot of times on the ship, you're tracking when I have a tasting or when my next meal is and where it is. Or, you know, you've got all these things you're still kind of flipping through your phone about.
For sure.
With concierge, it's almost nothing.
we barely looked
It's
at it.
almost
Yeah.
nothing.
He's very true. Here's something else, and this is probably one of my favorite things. And let me show you what this looks like. This right here is what it looks like to have a full breakfast delivered to your stateroom. Not
the continental
this
that you
is
can
not
get on a
which
standard.
is great. And here's what this looks like. It's great. We enjoyed it. We loved it. There's muffins and there's like you can get bagels too. There's fresh fruit. You could get hot cocoa and
good.
coffee and tea and juice, like whatever, cereal, and we loved it. In Concierge, they actually bring you a full breakfast.
Yeah.
We're talking omelets, Mickey waffles, French toast, eggs, meat products if you
Whatever you
wanted.
wanted.
They had alternatives. They had oatmeal. They also had the continental breakfast stuff. But like in Concierge, that's the only way that you can get that full breakfast.
Yep.
And holy crap, like seriously, that's a hold my beer moment because it was really amazing to have that coffee, have those pastries, have the fruit, and sit out there and enjoy it
Yeah.
while the kids had a full breakfast. No taking them to cabanas to make sure we got all the things, which is so cool because they can sit there, do that, watch a movie, we can chill, relax, wake up, and then go about the rest of our day. So when we say that you really don't have to lift a finger or your lift is going to be minimal, if you want to check out the room that we stayed in, it was a 1-bedroom concierge suite room, and this is the video in the card for that tour of that room. And it's like the mid-level between the super fancy suite and the veranda room, which is a little bit more standard, but still
But if you
just
have
amazing.
5, if you're a nuclear plus, or if you've got a couple of friends that you're splitting up a stay with, that could be.
You want to share the room with two friends or even 3 friends?
You've got like 2 couples that want to share a room. This would work perfectly.
And you had 3 closets.
Yeah.
You had 3 closets
Including
to
a
put your stuff
walk-in.
up. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And you had two bathrooms with 2 showers. The main bathroom has this huge tub, which you can see. It's absolutely incredible. And then you have a dining table plus a little table with the couch. Like, you had so much space.
Yeah.
And it just meant that you could really not stress trying to juggle getting around everybody.
This is if you and your friends want to go. This is the room to try to grab because wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe like it's you and your partner and you have 1 or 2 kids, but you want to bring like your grandparents with you or something, like definitely consider
That would
it.
work too.
Do you have any points that you want to share about concierge versus standard that we haven't touched on?
Relaxation specifically, or
Any of
or
it.
non-money?
Anything.
Because we've talked about money already.
In the worth it, yeah, we talked
talked
about
about it
that
in
because
the
we
worth
talked
it
about
video.
like the alcohol and things like that. We're talking about how it feels and what
just
you're
basically
getting.
how it feels. The thing that I liked, I think, the most is that the concierge feeling flowed down onto the island. When you went to
That's a good
the
point.
island itself, you still got a lot of the concierge bonuses and feeling that, yes, we had a cabana which has its own level of like concierge feeling, but they still knew and respected and treated that concierge at that level.
Yeah.
For
They
that.
brought us drinks instead of us having to go get them.
Yeah,
They cleaned up all of our dishes.
Yeah, it
Like,
was very much so. The experience continued where you didn't expect it to. So,
Great
soup
point.
to nuts, right? That's the old phrase of the meal, right? Soup to nuts. Everything is that whole experience. That concierge stays with you all the way through till you're getting off the ship, and even then, concierge is staying with you because you get priority debarkation because they bring you down and send you through a priority line. So you're not in the masses trying to get off the ship through 2 security checkpoints. It is like you're separated, you're brought down, and then you're tucked through and brought out to the port itself. It is a separate experience from the beginning to the end.
That is
and
just,
it is so incredible.
It really is. We cannot stress enough just how relaxing Disney cruising is in general. And definitely, if like our recommendation, if you're looking for a vacation, if you're looking for something where you can kind of hang out and have a good night and relax, then definitely consider cruising and not the parks.
Yeah.
The parks are busy. But sincerely, if you're looking to elevate and you really, really, really want to not think that concierge experience as everything and then some.
Yeah, you won't think.
Yeah,
I promise.
I promise.
It'll be such a wild experience.
I'm going to give you some little tips on how you can kind of keep an eye out for concierge sailings that might work better for you and for your budget. Definitely consider off-season.
Oh, yeah.
Hurricane season, a lot of people get nervous about sailing at hurricane season, but I promise you, I've worked with so many people who've had cruises that have taken place between like September and November. They change the itinerary,
Yep.
they hook you up, so if you had any excursions or anything and they have to change their itinerary, which I've only seen a few times, then they get you all situated so that you know
They will
either
take you
you're
a whole different
refunded
direction.
or they'll offer you other options so that you make sure you get the experiences to the best of your ability.
Yep.
But also you can look in January, February, March. It's colder then. People don't really want to go.
Work with a travel agent.
Work with a travel agent who can help you find those
They
and
will
keep an
help
eye
you
on them.
with all of that. Or they
For
should.
sure.
If they don't, get a better travel agent.
For sure, because well, you can easily do a cruise for $7,000 to $9,000 in a veranda suite with 4 to 5 people. You can also find some of those off-season in the veranda room under concierge and get a little bit more bang for that investment. If you have any questions, drop it down below so that I know how best to help you. And what other information I can give you or questions we can answer, because we're human, we can't think of everything. So definitely let us know, or even tell us like, do you have a cruise plan? Do you want to go on a cruise?
Yeah.
Like, communicate with us. We just love knowing that you're here and we want to get to know you better. So make sure you're commenting down below. Do you have any final thoughts or words to share?
Subscribe so that you can find more stuff.
I meant not self-serving, but sure,
not
yeah.
the self-serving stuff. I wasn't doing the stuff. That was the YouTube stuff. You're supposed to do that stuff. Honestly, if I can swing it, it's going to be concierge every time if I can handle it. Obviously, swinging it might not be possible, but if I can, that's the way to go.
Which,
Period.
like right
End
now,
of story.
we can't.
No.
We can't. Like we just that's the fact of life, and so that's the reality. And a lot of people understand and relate with that, and that's hard to see sometimes out here in the social media verse because so many people are doing these fancy things and they're living up this life that looks like it must be amazing. And no, things aren't always amazing, but you know we're still here and we're being real with you. No, it's not something we can do. And when we did ours, it wasn't like, oh, fancy, they can do it. Yes, we're grateful we got to do it, but we did it as a multi-combined celebratory event. Because I had people telling us like, wow,
Christmas presents.
that's fancy.
It was
You got to
Christmas
do that.
presents. It was like for everybody. We didn't spend on Christmas at all.
Which has been a habit since 2021.
Yep. So it was Christmas presents. It was an 18th birthday. It was a graduation gift. It was a lot all rolled into one big experience. It was our anniversary gift to each other because we didn't do anything for our anniversary. Like
we packed a lot into that because we wanted that experience. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. Again, if you have any questions, comments, tell us down below. If you've sailed before, tell us your favorite ship or just what itinerary you did. We'd love to know. But otherwise, until next time, live your version of a brilliant, bold, beautifully empowered life. And we'll see you on the high seas.
Cheers.
Cheers.